Hello, dear students. So today we are going to discuss semaphore in operating system. In before the semaphore, we have already discussed about the a very big topic, and that is the critical section problem in operating system. So semaphore, the solution of critical section problem is a semaphore. Basically, if we are going to discuss about the semaphore, so semaphore is in a basically integer variable that solve the critical section problem after initialization. It can only be two atomic operation basically. So if we discuss about the semaphore, so semaphore is nothing but it's basically the integer variable. Like if we are using C programming and we are declaring any kind of variable like a b c, if int a is equal to b, int b is equal to this, and int c is equal to this. So basically, this is the representation of uh, integer. Uh, so it can only be two atomic operation. If we are going to discuss about the certain operations which have been done with the help of semaphore, so it can we can using semaphore we can use atomic operation there is a wait and signal. So simply, semaphore is variable that is non-negative and shared between the threads. If we are discuss about the certain kind of thread in the operating system as well as, so it can it's non-negative as well as, and they share their threads between two process. So semaphore is basically a signaling mechanism, and a thread that is waiting on the semaphore can be signaled by another thread. It uses two atomic operations like wait and signal. While once we say that wait means that if the process enter into the critical section, and while it can execute it, there number of process, it can execute it their job, means if required it 2 seconds or 5 seconds or many more seconds to implement or to execute their whole work, then it can enter or it can generate the signal, and then it can generate the signal for the second one process to enter into the critical section. But if semaphore either always allows or disallows the access to the resource, which depends on how it is set up basically, right? So if we go through with the solution of a critical section problem. Okay, so before that we are aware about it, that what is the critical section, that if supposed to be we are discussed to declare integer a over there. So integer a is equal to 10. So it means that integer a is available in the critical section at that time, and it is the shared memory, shared variable, right? So if process P1 and process P2 wants to use or use this resource like integer a is equal to 10, right? So if we say that process P1 or process P2 or any process who wants to enter into the critical section, right? So what it required, basically what it required to enter into the critical section, but there is a certain condition. Okay, so there is a certain problem, critical section problem. If we solve the critical section problem, first of all we satisfy three criteria. Here there is a very important, very important criteria is over there. With the help of certain kind of criteria, what should we do? We justify certain kind of criteria, like if first is the mutual exclusion, and second one is the progress, and third one is the bounded weight. Okay, so if we are going to discuss about the mutual exclusion here, so mutual exclusion basically represent that which process wants to be executed, either it is P1, either it's P2 or P3 and other. Okay, so it can decide that only one process can enter into the critical section over there. Not if suppose P1 is enter into the critical section, then it can't permit it to another process like P2 into the critical section. That is the mutual exclusion. If we are going to discuss about the progress, so progress is basically the representation that if n number of the process means P1, P2, P3, P4 and Pn. Okay, so we have a multiple process is over there, and we only compute those process which executed on the critical section, right? So if supposed to be we want to execute process P1 and P2 over there. okay, and P2 and P3 and P4 is over there, but we don't want to compare because we don't want to enter P3 and P4 because it don't be required to be enter into the critical section. Not sure you use the integer variable over there, right? So thing is that we can compare the particular process, those who wants to enter into the critical section in the progress, and the bounded weight. So bounded weight is basically represent that how if supposed to be there is a one process are waiting over there, it means that it required basically what it mean, what it bounded weight means that if process P1 is enter into the critical section, but P2 is waiting over there, okay. So bounded weight is you can justify or you can divide it the time quantum over there. After it's supposed to be there is a P1 required 5 seconds, and after the 5 seconds it can be exit from the critical section, and P2 is required. So we can avoid from the starvation, we can use bounded weight over there. So this is the three criteria where we say that if we fulfill all the three criteria, then we move on the we can solve the problem of the critical section problem, right? We can solve. But if supposed to be we consider over here in this that we declare a variable, say it's supposed to be we are declare a variable a like that, okay, and we want to work the same three functions over there in a single variable. So like if supposed to be we declare a, then it is basically what it is basically the semaphore. So this is a is nothing but this is a single variable, and we also discuss in the definition of the semaphore that basically semaphore is nothing but it is a simple variable over there, okay. So what thing if suppose we fulfill all the three criteria over here, like mutual exclusion, like progress, like bounded weight, right? So thing is that we discuss over here that we use the function three methods in a single variable with the help of single variable. So we can say that this is the basically what this is basically the semaphore over there. So semaphore is working on the basis of two signals. One is the wait signal and other one is the signal, right? In the weight, it's supposed to be at the initial level. We discussed that the value of the semaphore is all about the one. Okay, so here there is a value that is the one. So it's supposed to be it can goes through waiting state. Okay, and then what thing can happen over there? So what thing happen? It's supposed to be we have a process that wants to be entered into the critical section can only do the race, right? And bounded weight we have already discussed, right? So we have discussed the semaphore, and then after that we say that there is a waiting if we work on the semaphore, then there is a waiting state, right? So in the waiting atomic over here, so s is equal to 1, right? So after that it can move on the looping and it can move over there and check the condition. So if s supposed to be s is equal to 1, then it move over here, right? So here you see that in while the condition is false, right? So if condition is false, then we use the terminator. We do not declare a loop body of this while loop, okay. So it can move over here, and here you see that s is equal to s minus 1. Now you see that in the the value of s is equal to 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So now after that it can move over here, and the value of s is equal to from 1 to 0, and it again move in the looping, and then it will check s here the value of s is equal to 0, and it is less than equal to 0. So yes, condition is true. So condition is true, then it means that what the process can track again and again, again and again. It's supposed to be it required 5 seconds or more than 5 seconds, then it can be trapped over here, and then after that what thing happen, it can be executed completely. While once it can executed completely their job, means s1 is completed their job, sorry, p1 completed their job over here, then it can move, it can exit, and at the time of exit it can generate a signal basically, okay. So it can generate a signal s is equal to, so right now it's supposed to be we are going to discuss about the signal over there, then it can right now it is the 0, so it can s plus 1 check it out, the condition is true, then yes, either condition is true, then what thing happen, it can go through with s is equal to s plus 1, and again it can execute their task, and it can move again s plus 1, means that it can increase from 1 to 2, 1 2 to 3, and so on at the time while it can be executed. Okay, so this is the basically structure of algorithm, that what how the semaphore is to be work over there. And so if supposed to be we are just go with this such kind of algorithm, and we find out that if supposed to be they can use do loop. Okay, so here the do can enter with the help of wait state, it can enter over there, and it can check the condition, either the condition is true. In the previous slide we see that this whole process is executed over here. Okay, in the wait state. Okay, in the wait state it can check that either its condition is true or false, right? So if condition is false, then it can move again lower, and then it can minus 1, and if condition is true, it can be trapped in the while loop. Okay, and while loop can completely execute it. If supposed to be there is a p1 is entered into the critical section firstly, then it is executed completely, and then after that it can exit. Okay, and then at the time of exit time, then it can create a signal for the another process to manipulate. Okay, so it's supposed to be at the same time process to enter into the critical section, and it can execute their complete job, right? And then after that what thing happen over here, it can execute it again, right? So it can execute it till their completion of their job. So if supposed to be it can complete their job, then it can be exit over there. So this is the whole scenario about the semaphore. This is basically we aware about that how the semaphore can be work. In this topic we have already we have discussed more other rest of the topics relevant with the semaphore, that is the characteristics of the semaphore, what is semaphore, types of the semaphore, example of semaphore, wait and signal operations in the semaphore, that we have already look little bit, counting semaphore and binary semaphore as well as, and different difference between semaphore and mutex, right? So what is the mutual exclusion and all, so advantage and as well as disadvantage, and then finally we can summarize our topic over there. So here, first of all, we move on the certain characteristics of the semaphore. So here there are certain characteristics of the semaphore is it is mechanism. Basically, what is it? It is the mechanism that can be used to provide synchronization of tasks, right? So it can provide what it can provide. It can provide the synchronization of the task. It is low-level synchronization mechanism. Basically, it is low-level synchronization mechanism. Semaphore will always hold a non-negative integer value, right? So here semaphore is nothing but it can hold the non-negative integer variable. So semaphore can be implemented using test operation and interrupt, which should be executed using file descriptor as well as. Okay, so semaphore can be implemented using test operation as well as in the interrupt we which should be executed using file descriptors. So these are the certain features or certain characteristics relevant with semaphore. If you are using the semaphore to solve the critical section problem, then basically this is a mechanism to provide us to utilize, and we can solve the critical section problem, right? So if we are going to discuss about the certain types of semaphore types, then there is a manually where we discuss about the two types. Here there is a counting semaphore and the binary semaphore. If we are going to discuss about the counting semaphore, so in the counting semaphore, we discuss about the from minus infinity to the infinity. And if suppose we are discuss about the binary semaphore, then it depends upon the zeros and ones. Binary means zeros and ones. So counting semaphore, this type of semaphore is uses a count that help to task to be acquired or released numerous times, right? So if the initial count is 0, the counting semaphore should be created in the unavailable stage. Okay, so this is basically nothing but it's all about the representation of counting semaphore. This type of semaphore uses count that helps the task to acquire the releases numerous numbers times, right? If the initial count is equal to 0, then counting semaphore should be created and unavailable state, right? So here you see that there is a count is equal to count plus, then initial count is equal to 0, then it is available, acquire count is equal to count minus 1, okay, at the time of execution, then release count is equal to 1 and acquire is equal to 0. So it is unavailable and initial count over there. However, if the count is greater than 0, the semaphore is created. In the available state, the number of tokens it has been equal to it is count, right? So, however, what can happen if we are going to discuss about the count as greater than 0, then what thing happen? Then semaphore is created in the available state, and then number of tokens it has been equal to this count as well as in the binary semaphore. If we are going to discuss about the binary semaphore are quite similar to the counting semaphore, but their value is restricted to zeros and ones. But in counting semaphore we don't bound the values, but here we can bounded the values like zeros and ones. In this type of semaphore, the wait operation works only if the semaphore is 1, and in the signal operations succeed when the semaphore is equal to 0. It is easy implement than counting semaphore. We are already discussed that if supposed to be we are using the binary semaphore, then if suppose there is a there is a 1 zeros and 1 over there. So binary semaphore are quite similar with the counting semaphore as well, but their values is restricted from zeros and ones as well as in this type of semaphore the wait operation works only if the semaphore is 1, right? So we check it out that if wait condition is running while this condition is all about the 1, if supposed to be we initialize the value of semaphore is 1, then it can check the condition that either it is 0 or greater than 0. If it is not the 0, then what thing happen, it can subtract minus 1, right? And then after that it can minus 1 are equal to 0, then it can move and process p1 enter into the critical section for the execution, right? So at the same time while it can execute it and it can move, semaphore is moved from 0 to 1 while we fulfill all the three categories or criteria which we have already discussed in our topic, that what is the mutual exclusion, what is the processing, and what is the progress, and the other one is the bounded wait. Okay, so it fill the bounded wait, then it can execute it. P1 is executed in the process has been completed. Then what thing happened? Then it required that it can generate a signal for the second one process, that is the P2. Right? Fine. So here there is a binary semaphore is all about the concept depends upon zeros and ones, that it can be 0, then it can be implemented with the signal, and then it is 1, then it can be executed with the wait signal operations as well as, right? So here initial value is equal to 1, then it can be available for execution for the wait signal, and then it is 0, then it is unavailable. So if supposed to be we can initialize the value of 0, then it is unavailable. If we initialize the value of 1, then it is available over there. Okay, so this is the basic concept of the binary semaphore over there. And so it's supposed to be we go through this example of the semaphore. So the below given program is set up step by step implementation which involve the usage and declaration of the semaphore. So here you see that process I semaphore is equal to 1, then begin P and V is the wait and signal. So it's supposed to be the P is the waiting, and then execute the critical section, and the V is the basically signal mutex over there. So what thing can happen if supposed to be there is 1, and it can check the condition either it is 1, then it can be minus 1, then the value of the semaphore is equal to 0. So it can execute it in the while loop, and it can be enter into the critical section, and it can be executed right in the critical section, and after the finish of their job it can move again on over there, and it can give the signal to the another process like P2. So after that, P2 enter into the critical section and then executed their complete their jobs. So wait and signal, operation in the semaphore. Both these operations are used to implement process synchronization basically. So the goal of this semaphore operation is to get mutual exclusion basically, right? So we are already discussed that what is the mutual exclusion. So mutual exclusion is nothing but it can permit only one process to enter into the critical section basically, right? So it can it's supposed to be we are going to use wait and signal operation in the semaphore, then what thing happen, we required to mutual exclusion. So mutual exclusion provide us the response to enter only one process in the critical section, and after the finishing of one process, it can generate the signal for the second one process to avoid the starvation over there. So wait for the operation. If we are going to discuss about the wait for the operation, so this type of semaphore operation helps you to control the entry of a task into the critical section as well as. However, if the value of weight is positive, and then the value of weight argument x is decremented, right? So in case of negative or zero value, no operation is to be executed. It is also called ps operations, right? So after the semaphore value is decreased, which becomes negative, that the command will help is held up until the required condition are satisfied. Okay, so we have already done. So it's supposed to be we can initialize the value like 1, then it can be move check either the condition is true or false. If it is condition is false, then it move on the looping. After the looping, it can move on the minus minus s minus minus. Okay, so s minus minus can minus the one value. It's supposed to be the value of at the time of value of semaphore is equal to 0, then it condition is true, and it can permit the entrance of process 1 into the critical section for the execution, and after execution it can generate the signal, and then p2 is enter over there. So this is the whole scenario about the wait operation. Now you see that there is a condition that if supposed to be your process can be executed if supposed to be there the value is 1, then it can check the condition, either condition is false, then it move on the s minus minus, and it can decrease the value, and again move over there and check the condition. If condition is true, then it can be trapped. Okay, so here while there is a body, there is no body is over there, so it means that at the time of while it can trap, and it can execute it process p1 executed over here, and it can check the condition that either it is again it is true, then it can be trapped and it can complete their execution. After the completion, it can generate the signal. So signal operation, basically this type of semaphore operation is used to control the exit of task from critical section, as well as it helps to increase the value of argument by 1, so which is denoted by vs. So code is here. While we check the condition is either s is greater than or equal to 0, then condition is it's supposed to be there is a supposed to be there is a some problem, that if suppose we have declared a value is not greater than 0, like that, so it can be increased, and then it can increase one by one after execution. So now the check is condition is false, then it's supposed to be we can initialize with 0, then it is greater than or equal to 0, then it can be trapped, otherwise it can increase the value and then executed, and then finally it can be exit. So this is about the certain example of the atomic operation of the wait and signal process in the semaphore. Now we are going to discuss about the mutual exclusion in detailed description in the synchronization. So basically, mutual exclusion is a property of process synchronizations which state that no two processes can exit in the critical section at a given point of time. The term was firstly coined by the Dijkstra. In any process synchronization technique being used must satisfy the property of mutual exclusion, without which it would not possible to get rid of race condition. Okay, fine. So that term was first coined by the Dijkstra. At any process synchronization technique being used must satisfy the property of mutual exclusion as well as, without which it would not be possible to get rid of the race condition. So that's so it's supposed to be we are going to discuss about the mutual exclusion. Then we can't fulfill of the bounded bit over there with the without mutual exclusion. Okay, so like that, if suppose we are going to discuss about the mutual exclusion, like in the we go for the shopping in the mall, and then we have a trial room is over there. Okay, so it's supposed to be there is a vacant room is there, then changing room initially lies vacant, allowing people to enter into the room and use it, right? So boy and girl is over there, so vacant room is right over there. So it's supposed to be at the time of entering of boy into the changing room, so girl is waiting till the it can completely it can trial complete of their boy complete their trial and come back from the trial room. Okay, so after the trial room, then if supposed to be boy enter into the critical section, means the this particular vacant changing room, then it can lock basically over there. Okay, and if supposed to be it can complete their process, then it can come out from the changing room, and then it can open the lock, right? And then after that the girl can enter into the changing room for the same, right? So it means that what thing is here, that at the same time only one process can enter into the critical section, that is the mutual exclusion basically. And now, and there is a counting semaphore and binary semaphore. What is the difference? If supposed to be somebody is asking that what is the difference between the counting semaphore and binary semaphore, so little bit it is similar, but there is a certain kind of differences over there. So if supposed to be we are going to discuss about the counting semaphore, so and the binary semaphore. In the counting there is a no mutual exclusion, right? So no mutual exclusion is considered to be in the counting semaphore, but in the binary semaphore we can use mutual exclusion, right? So counting semaphore, any integer value is used, but in the binary semaphore we have considered that only either it is 0, either it is 1. More than one slot is there, but in only one slot is there in the binary semaphore, and provide a set of process, but it has a mutual exclusion mechanism basically. Okay, so here in this counting semaphore you have provided the set of process as well as, but in the binary semaphore what thing we have required, for the mutual exclusion as well as, right? So this is the difference between both of them. After that there is a difference between semaphore and the mutex. So there is a certain parameters. So it's supposed to be we have a discuss about the semaphore and mutex on the basis of mechanism. So it is type of signaling mechanism. Semaphore is nothing but it is a signaling mechanism. But as compared to the mutex, so it is locking mechanism. Data type, while we are discussed with the data type, so semaphore is an integer variable, while mutex is just an object, right? So modification. So wait and signal operation can modify the semaphore as well as, but in the mutex it is modified only by the process that may be request or release the response. Resource management. If no resource is free, then process requires a resource that should execute wait operation. It should wait until the count of the semaphore greater than 0. Okay, it can wait till greater than 0 in the waiting state, which we have already done. So, but in the mutex, if it is locked, the process has to wait. The process should be kept in the queue. This needs to be accessed only when the mutex is unlocked, right? So it can unlock, then it can move again. The process enter into the exit for the execution. So if we discuss the difference between the on the basis of thread, so you have multiple multiple program threads over there, but in the mutex you can have multiple program threads in mutex but not simultaneously. Okay, so types, if supposed to be we are discuss about the types of the semaphore or counting semaphore and binary semaphore, so mutex has no subtypes is over there. Okay, so if suppose semaphore is divided into the either it is counting semaphore or either it is into the binary semaphore, but in the case of mutex there is no subtype operation. While we are discuss about the certain operations in the semaphore, then semaphore using wait operation as well as signal operation, but in the mutex object is locked and unlocked. Here the condition is simple, that either it is locked or either it is unlocked. So resource occupancy, so it is occupied if all the resources are being used and process requests for the resources performs wait operations and all becomes greater than 1. But in case of object is already locked, the process requesting resource wait and queue by the system before the release. So this is the basically difference between the semaphore and the mutex on the certain basis of parameters like mechanism. What is the mechanism over there? What is the data type? What is the modification? What is the resource management? What is the thread? What is the ownership types, operation, and resource occupancy? On the basis of all, we can easily find out what is the difference between the semaphore and what is the difference between the mutex as well as. And it's supposed to be we are going to discuss about the certain advantage here. So there are certain kind of benefits. If supposed to be you are using the semaphore, so it allows more than one thread to access the critical section as well as. At the same time, while we are going to discuss about the critical section, access the critical section. The semaphore are machine independent code as well as semaphore are implemented in machine independent code as well as code of microkernel we have used that do not allows multiple process to enter the critical section as well as. So we have already done that. It's supposed to be we are working with the semaphore, then it can't be permitted to process more than one process to enter into the critical section as well as. As there is busy waiting in semaphore, there is a never a wastage of process time and resources as well as. They are machine independent, which should be run in the machine independent code of the microkernel as well as. They allows flexible management of the resources, right? So there is a lot of advantage if we are going to discuss about the certain semaphores advantage. So basically it is you know used for to fulfill or to complete or solve the problem of critical section as well as. So critical section problem is very huge problem in the operating system while we are working with multitasking and multi-programming as well as in the operating system. Then it's supposed to be it can create like a starvation as well as deadlock situation. So we can avoid from the starvation as well as deadlock situation. We have used certain kind of criteria like mutual exclusion, like bounded wait, like progress as well as. So in the progress we discussed that there is a certain kind of processes over there, but we can compete only the those process which it wants to execute in the critical section over there. Okay, and it's supposed to be here the semaphore is a machine independent as well as. So semaphore are implemented in the machine independent code of the microkernel as well as they do not allow the multiple process to enter in the into the critical section. As there is a busy waiting in the semaphore, then it can waste of process time and resources as well as. So it can provide the facility to do remaining process to work complete their work as well as. So semaphore provide lot of advantage to avoid from such kind of problem in the operating system. So little bit there is a certain disadvantage of the semaphore is available over there. So one of the biggest limitation of the semaphore is priority inversions. So in case of priority inversions, it is there is a very big limitations over there in the operating system. It has keep to track all the calls to wait and signals for the semaphore. It's supposed to be we can call the semaphore and we just initialize the value, then we can't be changed. It can change accordingly, right? So it first of all it can move on the waiting state and then it can execute their job and then it move on the signal process and then after that it can finish over there. So this is the basically the steps to follow. So their use is never enforced, but it is by convention only in order to avoid deadlock in the semaphore. The wait and signal operations required to be executed in the correct order, right? So which we have already done that we can avoid from the deadlock situation as well as the starvation in the operating system. We can use the semaphore as well as, but in such cases certain it use in is never enforced by the convention. So it can also create a problem. Semaphore programming is complicated, so there are chance to not achieving mutual exclusion. If certain times the condition the programming of the semaphore is complicated, so in this case mutual exclusion can't be achieved. It means that we can hold we can't hold the process more than one process to enter into the critical section. That is why there is a certain kind of disadvantage. It is also not practical method for large scale use of their use leads to loss modularity as well as. Semaphore is more prone to the programmer error as well as it may cause deadlock or violation of mutual exclusion due to programmer error. So due to certain kind of error and all, then it can violate the mutual exclusion over there and it can't work it properly. So these are the certain disadvantage of the semaphore as well as which we have discussed in this. Now we are move on the summary portion. So semaphore is defined as a variable that is non-negative and shared between the threads basically, right? So semaphore is defined, what is defined, it's defined as a variable that non-negative and shared between threads as well as, right? So it is a mechanism that can be used to provide synchronization of tasks as well as and counting semaphore. With the help of counting semaphore uses a count that help task to be acquired or released over there numerous times, right? So binary semaphore are quite similar to the counting semaphore, but their values is restricted to zeros and ones as compared to the binary counting semaphore. We have using instead of binary using zeros and ones, here we have infinity to minus infinity to infinity in the counting semaphore. So in the wait operations help you to control the entry of task into the critical section. In the semaphore, the waiting wait operation is used to hold, basically it can hold or control the entry of the task into the critical section as well as, and the in the signal of semaphore operation is used to control the exit of the task from the critical section. If supposed to be you enter the process P1 or P1 enter into the critical section, so with the help of waiting you can control to enter into the critical section, and in the signal say semaphore, with the help of signal operation we can control the exit of the basically of the process, and after the exit it can generate a signal for the another process to be executed. Counting semaphore has no mutual exclusion, whereas binary semaphore has a mutual exclusion as well as. So counting semaphore has not mutual exclusion over there, but counting semaphore use locked and unlocked situation. And but in case of binary semaphore, we discuss about the mutual exclusion. So basically, mutual exclusion is nothing but it's just a technique that in mutual exclusion only one process can enter into the critical section for the execution. So if entry point is all about the waiting control with the help of wait, and exit point is controlled with the help of signal in the semaphore. So semaphore means the signaling mechanism where mutex is locking mechanism, while semaphore allows more than one thread to access the critical section, as well as semaphore can create it can permit more than one thread into the access into the critical section. One of the biggest limitation of the semaphore is priority inventions. Okay, priority invention is the biggest limitations of the semaphore as well as. So these are the certain summary over there. Now we move on the certain MCQs relevant with the semaphore in the operating system. So uninterrupted unit is known as single atomic static, none of the mention. Okay, so here the right answer is the B, means that atomic. So an uninterrupted unit is known as atomic. Atomic, is uninterrupted unit of semaphore. Now there is a paste and set instruction is executed after a particular process. B periodically, third one is automatically, and none of the mention. So C is the right answer. Atomically, test and set instruction is to be executed automatically, right? The semaphore is an dash to solve the critical section problem. Hardware for the system, special program for the system, integer variable, and none of the above. So C is the right answer. Basically, semaphore is an integer variable to solve the critical section problem, which we have already done in our topic. So what are the two atomic operations permissible on the semaphore? Here we have used wait and signal. So wait, stop, hold, none of the above. So wait is the right answer. Wait is the atomic operations which is used in the semaphore. So next, what will happen if non-recursive mutex lock more than one starvation? Okay, so right answer is the B. B is the right answer. There is a deadlock. Okay, so basically, if supposed to be, we are going to discuss about the uh, you know deadlock situation. So deadlock situation is if the thread has which has already locked a mutex tries to lock the mutex again, it will enter into the waiting list of that mutex, which result in the deadlock it because no other thread can be unlocked the mutex. So this is the explanation of this particular MCQs. So what is the semaphore is, it is binary mutex. It must be accessed from one process. It can access from multiple process, none of the mention. So C is the right one answer. C is the right one answer, that it can be accessed from the multiple process. Okay, so what are the two kinds of the semaphore? Here there is a binary mutex counting, binary counting, counting and decimal and binary. So we have B is the right answer. We have done already. We have done that there is a binary and counting semaphore is used. In the binary, we have used zeros and ones. In the counting, we have used locked and unlocked. So right. So what is the mutex basically? It's a is a binary mutex. It must be stored access from only one process. Can access from multiple process. One none of the mentioned. So B is the right answer. Must be accessed from only one process over there. Right. Semaphore are mostly used to implement system calls IPC mechanism. System protection. None of them mentioned. So B is the right answer. Here the IPC mechanism. Spend locks are intended to provide what it can provide. It can provide, B is the right answer, bounded weight. Bounded with the, bounded weight. We have a, certain kind of, competition, a race between the process, that which process has been enter into the critical section. If supposed to be we have a process P1, P2, P4, P3, and P4, and n number of the processes over there, but we can compete, in the bounded weighting, we have compete those process which wants to execute it in the in the critical section as well as. Okay, so if any kind of query is over there, then we will move on the query. Otherwise, we can just revise our topic, that which things we have covered in our complete whole scenario in the semaphore. So first of all, we have done the definition of the semaphore basically. So semaphore is an integer variable that solve the critical section problem, as well as after initialization, it can be only two atomic operations over there. It's supposed to be you have initialized the value of 1, then it can be move on the waiting operation, and then after that, if waiting operation is true, then it can move and it can move the condition, check the condition it is true, then it can trap over there, and otherwise it can exit, and it can create the signal for the next one process as well as. And after that, we have discussed that we have a integer variable, and that is the a is equal to 10. It can be shared between the multiple process like p1 p2, but in the on the basis of critical section problem, we fulfill all the satisfied with three criteria, that is the mutual exclusion, progress, bounded weight, and all right. So and with the help of mutual exclusion, we have discussed that in the mutual exclusion, we can't enter, more than one process into the critical section. Progress, we can check the those two process we enter into the critical section, and bounded weight is there is a time quantum over there. Okay, and the weight and signal, we can first of all enter, give the entry. If the condition is true, then it can, otherwise it can -1, and signal that is +1 for the same. And there is a certain algorithm to use semaphore to fulfill all the requirements, or fulfill all the three criteria which we have already discussed. And we have certain points related to this. We have discussed about the certain characteristics of the semaphore, as well as types of the semaphore. In the types of the semaphore, we have discussed about certain binary and counting semaphore, as well as in the binary, we have discussed that is the zeros and ones, and the counting we have discussed about the certain locked and unlocked operation over there. Okay, so in the counting, in this type of semaphore uses the count that help to task acquire the release numerous times, right? If initial value is count is 0, the counting semaphore should be created in the unavailable state, right? So we will discuss with the diagram, and then after that we discuss about certain signal, and after that we have discussed about the mutual exclusion for the same. And with the help of certain real world example for of the changing room, then we can discuss that what is the mutual. And we also discuss about the binary semaphore, as well as counting semaphore, difference between both of them. And we can take a certain parameters to complete difference between the semaphore and mutex as well as. And after that, we have discussed about certain advantage that it can be used for the solve the problem in the critical section as well as. And we have already discussed uh, that of a certain disadvantage as well as. So this is all about the disadvantage, that there is a certain limitations about the priority invention, as well as it's supposed to be violation of mutual exclusion in the semaphore. And then after that, we have summarized our topic about this semaphore. different definition. With the definition, we can distribute it into the different types, like binary and counting semaphore as well as. And we are already discuss about the binary and what is the weighting operation as well as signal operation, and we have discussed about the counting semaphore, and we already discussed about the weighting counting semaphore as well as binary semaphore and mutual exclusion as well as. Okay, so this is all about, and already after that we have already done the MCQs. So I hope you are understand that what is the semaphore is all about. Thank you very much.